All right, thanks to first of all, thanks to everybody that came out to support our kids. Obviously, I'm pleased to get out of there with a victory. We've got a bye week staring us here in the face, and we have to do a lot of work. After the bye week, we've got 8 straight games. So, our guys played hard. They were ready to play. Defense was good. Offense was struggled. I mean, pretty inconsistent to say the least. But questions?
How would you go about summing up the current state of the offense? I know you had the makeshift offensive line where you had guys shuffled and then tried Knox out, but how would you kind of sum things up right now going to the bye week?
Yeah, I mean that was. First of all, I would say we played 2 pretty good defensive lines the last 2 weeks, but that being said, we have been inconsistent. At times it's been pretty good, not nearly consistent enough to score like we're going to need to score as the season goes along. We've got huge improvement to make. Shuffling the offensive line around shouldn't matter. All those guys have played a bunch of snaps. It's a byproduct of what we had to do, but as a whole, we've got to find a way to play better.
In terms of Knox, do you regret, if you had to do it over, would you have put him in maybe when you were at the 50 or maybe waited until you weren't backed up? I mean, that moment and putting him in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's, it was, the timing of him going in was not prescribed. I mean, I met with Braxton and Knox on Sunday of last week and told them at some point Knox was going to play in the first half. How much or how little, this wasn't a deal where one guy needed to be looking over his shoulder or whatever. The facts were Knox was going to play at some point, and also Braxton was going to go back in. That was the way it was going to be. I didn't know when. It's always hard to put a timing on those things because of the flow of the game and all that kind of stuff. But, on first down, we run the ball and don't help ourselves. We don't get north and south, and now we're in second and long, and Knox is in a tough situation there. Backed up on second and long, but that's part of playing quarterback too. Is being disciplined enough to go throw the ball away and go live to play the next down. So, I wish it would have turned out differently for him, but where the ball was should be inconsequential to how he performs.
Justin, how would you evaluate how Braxton played today? It looks like he had some underthrown, overthrown balls in addition to the touchdown pass he had.
Yeah, I would say some good, some bad. I thought he had a great week of preparation after getting news that he didn't like. I was really proud of the way that he responded through preparation and made some plays out there today like he has all week, and made some plays in the passing game. Gave our guys some chances to go catch the ball, and some of them we made and some of them we didn't. So certainly wasn't perfect, but I think it was better in terms of getting our guys chances to go make some plays.
What kind of jolt did that punt return touchdown by Tavion give you guys there in the second quarter tie ball game?
No, it was huge. We felt like for some time that Tavion was a weapon back there, and just kind of waiting for the dam to break, and it did today. We spend a lot of time on that stuff, and it was nice to reap those benefits at that point in the game.
Trey had 6 catches, went over the century mark, had 102 yards and a touchdown. How big was he after he only had a couple catches last week?
Well, I'm trying to remember all the catches, but there was 2 there that were definitely contested balls, and that's what we've got to have. We're not always going to get open by 10 yards, and he went up and was aggressive to the ball and made a couple plays, which I thought were, what we really needed and what we needed from him. And it was a good job by Braxton giving him a chance to go up and go make those plays.
Justin, did the fake punt unfold as you drew it up until the ball was released, or?
Yeah, right up till the end. So they turned those guys loose. Those gunners loose, so all the time. And it's like you watch it on film over and over and over and over and over again, And you go out there the first time to punt, and they do the same thing. And you practice it all week, and, you know, you're like, if it looks like that, you got to come to grips with calling it. And we did, and he got open by some substantial margin. And, I feel bad because, I grabbed Peter right afterwards and I said, you just worry about punting the ball now, okay? That's on me. I put you in a position to go throw the ball. And what I wanted to say is if you hadn't thrown it so darn well all week, then I would have not put you in that position in the game. But he had done so well during the week. And, obviously I don't know if it slipped out of his hands or whatever, but, that's on me. I put him in that position. It's something we wanted to take advantage of. And, I just grabbed him afterwards. I said, go punt the ball. Okay, don't worry about anything else. That's over with. You can't do anything about it. That's on me. Go punt it. And he punted it really well.
Clearly, Blumerick is a powerful runner. I don't know if we've seen him throw yet this year. I mean, can he be used in other situations too in the future, do you think?
I do. Yeah, he can throw the football. He has a good arm, and he's got a lot of reps under his belt. So he doesn't have a lot of fear, I can tell you that much, like putting his head down and trying to get north and south.
Mancuso gets knocked out on like the first or second play, and then obviously they go to their backup who mostly ran the ball. I mean, what changed for the defense? Do you think they kind of adapted well? And in the second half, were you kind of prepared for them to just really just try to hammer you guys? And how do you think you handled that?
Yeah, there were some things probably we could have been a little stouter in the run game, but we handled that part of it just fine. We're talking about a group that gave up 10 points, and one time we gave them the ball on the 10-yard line, or whatever it was, 15-yard line. So I hate it for Richmond. That's a really good player they lost today. It looked like a nothing play. He got out and kind of like a busted play and scrambled, and then when he got up, he was holding his hand. I hate it for him, but I thought we adjusted fine.
You mentioned Peter earlier. He had 6 punts today, 4 inside the 20, a couple 50-yarders. What have you liked from him so far through 4 games? He's been really good for you guys.
Well, I've liked his punting a lot more than his passing. But, he's just been really consistent and, hasn't been, all nerved up for a guy that hasn't played a lot. And, the wind became a little bit of a factor later in the game. It was, particularly in the second half, it was, I thought, substantial. It was windy as I've remembered in some time, and he seemed to kick the ball into the wind really well today.
Mike asked earlier about the reshuffled offensive line. Is Silas a long-term deal, or do you expect him back shortly?
I don't expect it to be a long-term thing. Like, it's non-surgical foot deal that I anticipate he should be back.
Anybody else for Coach? Going once, going twice. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.